Good day everyone, this is Xiaomi SU7 Ultra and this is officially the fastest four-door sedan production car on the planet. This was actually extremely fast. The record lap on the Nurburgring is 6 minutes 46 seconds. The acceleration from 0 to 100 is just 1.90 seconds. The acceleration from 0 to 200 is 5.96 seconds. And the acceleration from 0 to 300 is 15 seconds. 400 meters this car can achieve in 9.23 seconds. And the top speed achieved in this car is 359.71 kilometers per hour. And to be frankly, I don't know what impresses me more. The specification of this car and how it actually drives in real life, or the price of it. Because actually, this car costs cheaper than a BYD Yuan app in basic version. Don't think I'm crazy or cheating you, but if we calculate the horsepower you get for your money, in BYD Yuan app you get just 75 horsepower and you pay 99,800 RMB. So the price of one single horsepower is around 1,350 RMB, which is close to 200 USD per 1 horsepower. This car price starts from 529,000 RMB in China and it has 1,548 horsepower. It means that per one you pay only about 340 RMB, which is less than 50 United States dollars based on current exchange rate per 1 horsepower. If we take this indication, this car is cheaper than most of the budget cars and much cheaper than direct rivals such as Zeekr 001 FR or, for example, Tesla Model S Plaid. Today we have detailed review, test drive, and I will tell you some tips from the using of this car, because I've already driven more than 300 kilometers in particular this car. Stay tuned and push the like button if you really like my video. Let's go. Xiaomi positions this car as a street legal race car, and it's totally true because not every Formula 1 car can do acceleration from 0 to 100 in less than 2 seconds. Now let's go to the specification. The body length is 5 meters 7 centimeters, so it's a large sedan car. The wheelbase is 3 meters, same in the Xiaomi SU7 Max, and the total power of this car, as I mentioned before, is 1,548 horsepower, from which we have 288 kilowatts on the front wheel produced by single motor, and the rest 850 kilowatts we have on the rear axle produced by 2 motors on each wheel. Just imagine this wheel with 305 millimeters width of the tire has 578 horsepower just on one wheel. It's totally incredible. As it should be for a race car, they made a lot of efforts to make this car light. First of all, we have these ceramic brakes. With these brakes, the car can accelerate and brake down dozens of times without losing performance. Actually, until some temperature of these carbon ceramic brake discs, the performance will even increase. But maybe even more important, that these huge brake discs with a huge caliper produced by Akebona. I cannot put even finger right here because it barely can fit in the 20-inch wheels. Actually weighs only about 8.5 kilograms. It's written on the disc. I will insert the picture right now. So the metal disc of this size would probably weigh around 20 kilograms, and here just 8.5. Battery here is also different from the Xiaomi SU7 Max. First of all, it is smaller. It is 93 kilowatt hours against the 102 kilowatt hours in Xiaomi SU7. Secondly, it's different battery made specially for high performance. It's based on the CATL Qilin 2 battery and it has 900 volts platform, with the actual voltage is more than 750 volts right here. Finally, they added a lot of carbon elements, such as this huge 1.56 meter rear carbon anti-wing spoiler, such as these carbon seals, carbon body of the mirrors, and so on. But even with all that efforts, the car is finally heavier than the Xiaomi SU7 max for about 100 kilograms. Of course, because it still has one motor more and some other features. This insane performance would not be possible without the last generation of self-developed Xiaomi electric motors. The range is called V8S. In Xiaomi SU7 Max, it's called V6 range. And here we have the traditional already for Xiaomi plate with the specification. These motors have 27,200 maximum RPM, which is also quite incredible. And the other very specific and interesting feature that this car has the electric drive of the front hood of the front trunk actually cover, which is very not typical, and I don't know many cars who have it. And still in this super powerful race car we have the practical front right here. What is the suspension in this race bolide? It's an interesting question, and I should tell you more about that. When this car was in the process of preparing to production, there were rumors it should receive two kinds of suspension. The first one is basically same as in the Xiaomi SU7 Max, which is air suspension with the adjustable hardness and the softness of the shock absorbers, which is of course fully aluminum levers with a double wishbone lever in front, with a 5-link multi-lever suspension in the rear, and that is basically what we received here. With this suspension, the car is very practical. This is the highest position of this suspension, and we have the ground clearance 178 millimeters, which is extremely nice and useful for such a supercar in the city. Basically, we have 4 levels of this suspension adjustment, of the air suspension adjustment, and this is the 4th level, but the 1st level can be used only in race mode on the special tracks. The other type of the suspension should be based on a spring coilovers from Bilstein model Evo T1 without any air suspension, made specially for the races. But this suspension hasn't entered the market until now. It should be included in the Nurburgring package, which costs about $15,000, but until now it's not available, and we do not have any news when it will be finally available. Before we start talking about the equipment of this car, I will tell you several interesting facts. This car should cost from beginning about 800,000 RMB. But probably they didn't receive enough orders for that price, enough pre-orders, or maybe they just decided to make it cheap to beat all the competitors in the world. Nevertheless, it entered the market with much lower price, with 529,000 RMB, and they made it in that way that many optional packages, which should form finally the price of 800,000, are basically included in the basic version. But now let's start from these matrix headlights, which are by default without any extra price, and in my opinion they are quite average. Also, we have this logo Xiaomi, which is covered in 24 carats gold, which is the highest class of the gold, which is 199. And generally we have 5 colors for this car. 3 of these colors are optional, they cost around 1,300 USD to add. This particular color is called the parrot green. It's very, very beautiful. Also, they have the gray paint color, they have black, they have white, pearl white, and yellow color. This huge carbon spoiler actually should cost around 2,000 USD, but now you get it for free by default in all the versions. It's a carbon fiber spoiler which doesn't have any adjustment and looks basically amazing, but you should be very careful because it outreaches the car body for about 10 centimeters. So when parking, you should be very, very careful. This is the electric adjustable electrically rear diffuser, which actually should cost some money and should be optional, but now they also give it for free in all the cars. You could steer it from the central control screen, and it has 2 positions. These carbon mirror bodies and these carbon seals come together, and they should cost around 3,000 USD, but currently they go for free in all the cars by default. The most expensive option you can currently purchase for Xiaomi SU7 Ultra is the front hood with the special downforce holes, where the air would go here from the intake, come out here through the huge outlets, and would downforce the front part of the car. It should be made of carbon fiber, and it costs around 7,000 United States dollars. In this particular car, we do not have that option. But we have the sportive stripes on the middle part of the car and also on the doors, and it costs around 300 USD. But now they give it for free as well. This is the carbon fiber roof. This is the optional equipment for this car. You have to pay for it about 3 to 3.5 thousand United States dollars. Of course, it lowers the center of mass of the car, and it generally saves about 12 kilograms of mass. If you do not order these, as we did for this car, then you have the normal glass non-openable panoramic sunroof, same as in Xiaomi SU7 normal version. The wheels is a longer story because first of all you have 5 designs to choose. Some of them are forged wheels and you have to pay up to 1,500 USD to get them. All of them are 21-inch rims and probably these are just die-casted rims. If it's not said it's forged, this is basic by the way. But this is the only car in China, which I know, where you can choose different tires from the factory. You can have 2 tires, both of them will be Pirelli P0, but one will be normal and one will be higher performance, with a softer and more performance compound. In this case, the range per charge will decrease from 630 kilometers by CLTC to 520 kilometers by CLTC. These extra tires, extra performance tires, we have in this particular car. By the way, it costs only about 150 USD to add them, but only with these tires Xiaomi claims the car can achieve acceleration from 0 to 100 in about 2 seconds. Now we are inside of the Xiaomi SU7 Ultra, and here we have also some extra optional features which they give now for free. For example, this carbon fiber panel costs around 500 USD, now you get it for free by default. This carbon fiber and Alcantara steering wheel, extremely nice, extremely pleasant, with heating. The steering wheel has heating, but I think only Alcantara parts. I tried and the carbon fiber doesn't get warm. It costs around 6,000 RMB, almost 900 USD, and now you get it for free as well. In terms of other parts of interior, this car basically looks like a Xiaomi SU7 Max with this huge, more than 17 inches diagonal screen with super fast system in all the ways. And also this car has the English system by default from factory. In terms of quality, this is amazing interior in my opinion. This is not fully premium like in Rolls-Royce, somewhere you have normal plastic, but the quality of finishing and matching all the plastic parts is totally perfect. Yes, this part of the steering wheel maybe looks a little simple, but generally this minimalism and high quality and very precise assembly and so on impresses me a lot. Here you can add, by the way, a fridge, a refrigerator optional, which costs around 300 USD, which we do not have in this car. But here we have some extra options because Xiaomi has a policy of adding a lot of smart devices, and it has even separate menu parts for smart devices. As you see in this car, we added these extra physical buttons. We also added the clock and compass, and we also added actually the car aromatic system. But for now it disconnected. I do not know why. Anyway, it is here. It looks like that, and it has 3 beautiful scents. I must connect it. Now I'm sitting behind myself on the second row, and basically this is same as any other Xiaomi SU7, despite here we have these different design sportive seats with carbon fiber covers, which are actually optional as well and cost around 1,000 USD, but we get them for free now. We don't need to pay by default. The second row of the Xiaomi is not the strongest point of this car. For example, Zeekr 001 is much better, but considering it's basically a race car, it's anyway very good, but the floor is actually high, despite it's a flat floor. Because of these carbon fiber covers and different seats, I think the space for the knees is a little bit worse than in the normal Xiaomi. The entertainment is basically nothing. We have only the USB ports. We don't have any display for climate. We have very simple armrest, but this is the Xiaomi style, same as in other Xiaomi SU7. And basically for the supercar, it's quite okay. The audio system here, we have the 25 speakers from Xiaomi brand. The sound is quite okay, and some of them even have the stainless steel covers. The trunk gate has electric drive. The trunk itself is same as a normal Xiaomi. I will give you the infography of the sides right away. It's not the best in its class because, for example, Zeekr 001, but it's like SUV liftback, has better, but still we have around 470 liters. We have the very correct shape, and we have this huge niche right here. The seats also can be folded, not in the flat floor, but anyways, this is not bad for a supercar. Actually, it's super great for a supercar. Now it's time to perform the test drive of Xiaomi SU7 Ultra. This car has around 300 kilometers of mileage. We had to drive it, I had to drive it personally to unlock the car from the safety mode, where actually the top speed is limited by 140 kilometers per hour. During the first 300 kilometers, which needed to unlock the safety mode to cancel it, the car will never go faster than 140 kilometers. You can see it on the speedometer. This is the top speed in sport mode, and basically that's all. During this driving, I'm surprised into things. First of all, I really don't understand how the turning signals work. because they will not turn off automatically. Maybe there are some adjustments, I don't know, some settings. And also I drive mainly in sport mode, but this car has many other modes, such as like wet road, such as beginner mode, such as eco mode, standard. And for example, in the eco mode the car becomes relatively slow, but the most important, the suspension and steering wheel changes to non-sportive. And actually I think that the stabilizers, they also probably hear electronical, and they also change to non-sportive. And in this mode actually the car handling I don't like pretty much, because sometimes it follows the longitudinal road imperfections, and also sometimes I need to catch the car. It doesn't feel so perfectly handling like in the sport mode, despite of course some cars which must softer suspension, they don't have this problem. Even now I add full acceleration from 90 and I feel that I have to catch this car. Whoa, it's very weird. And of course it's all ESP on, and the power now is only about 30 probably percent, maybe to 50% in this safety mode. This mode is totally not workable on the highway. I'm very surprised, but okay, let's keep driving. For now we have already done 135 kilometers, and as you see the average fuel energy consumption is 27.9. The average speed we do is like from 80 to 110, something like that. The power is limited by about 20% or maybe 25%. Now everything works in the full mode. And with the allowance of our customer who already bought this car, we will make a small test drive. Now we are driving the Xiaomi SU7 Ultra. Basically this car is same as normal Xiaomi in terms of all the menu and so on, but the driving settings are much bigger here. First of all, you have the two presets, the economy, standard and sport. In the economy mode, this car is basically same as when you drive it until it unlocks the safety mode. It's just normal, quite slow car. And in all the modes except the sport, basically I think this car doesn't drive so well as it drives in the sport, because the steering wheel is too unclear. The car catches all the parallel bumps and so on. So in my opinion, the sport is what this car basically done for, and in which they polished and adjusted all the settings while developing and tuning of this car. We have also the two presets, and in presets we can do any modes which we want. We can basically customize everything. We can customize the regenerative level, we can customize the response of the power, we can customize the steering wheel feeling, the suspension height, the suspension performance, the distribution ratio to front and rear drive. We can basically make this car completely rear wheel drive, which I will not do today, or actually even fully front wheel drive. We can also change the traction control settings. Motion wave is actually this synthetic sound which you hear while driving the car. It's quite fun, but it's not sometimes very logical. It's fully synthetic and sounds like a V8 engine, but when you understand in some moment that it's like completely not logical and artificial, then maybe you start not liking it. But from the first meters, basically it's quite nice. After driving 300 kilometers, I would emphasize that this car is quite good in saving energy, because we can see now the charge and the general energy consumption since charge is just about 29 kilowatt hours. It can go even about to 27 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And for this car, which weighs about 2.4 tons, it's actually very good, and I'm surprised. But of course, it's not a miracle. This car basically cannot drive the 630 kilometers, which is mentioned in the specification by CLTC. But what this car is really made for, of course, it is for speed. And now we will test the acceleration 2 times. The first time we will test it in the sport mode, and the second time we will test it in the drag mode. Let's go. So this is the boost mode without the drag mode, and now we have the closed territory. We will do it 1, 2, 3. It's basically extremely fast. I will not go more fast. It's already like crazy. It's much more faster than 007 in performance mode. It's something really incredible. The drag racing mode, when you have to use the 2 pedals, when you have to use the launch control, this will be exactly this case. Let's test it just 1 time. Okay, the car is ready. this was actually extremely fast. I assume it's less than 2 seconds. Something extremely close to roller coaster, probably. Amazing feeling. This car probably the only in the world features the app which is called Trackmaster, where you have a lot of additional information on the condition of the motors, condition of the wheels and so on, temperature, and also we have the track maps which are already inserted in this app. There are most of Chinese tracks, or maybe all of them, and also, as I know, we can add here the tracks from other countries. The app will remember your track time, lap time, and remember probably many other things and so on. Unfortunately, I don't have any chance to try it. In other terms, now we are driving in the standard mode, and actually it's completely comfortable, normal car with good smoothness of driving, with good dealing with all the bumps, and it's extremely impressive when you remember that just 10 minutes ago you could do 0 to 100 in 2 seconds in the drag mode. If you are curious how it accelerates, for example, from 50 to 80 or something, it just happens less than in 1 second. It happens just like a lightning. It's frightening fast, and the brakes are extremely nice as well. This car can brake from 100 to 0 in about 33 meters only. This car is pure amazing. It's pure joy and pure satisfaction and adrenaline. Of course, I could not use the potential of this car. I use maybe 3% of it because it can be used only on the tracks. The suspension and steering potential is so high that even when you drive like 60-70 in very narrow and short turns, you feel already rubber starting to lose control, starting to lose the grip, but you don't feel any signs of losing control on the steering or suspension. Amazing, ultimate car, real ultra. If you would like to buy it, basically it's really not expensive, about 74 United States dollars, the basic version. We could help you to export this car from China to order for you. We already bought and exported, like planning to export 2 cars. So please, all the contacts below this video, hit the bell, push the like button if you like the video, and for sure, please subscribe to my channel. And of course, leave a comment. Thank you.